Thank you for tuning in to 103.3 FM and Real Talk Live after this. Thank you for joining me for Real Talk Live. We're talking about some of the things that are really important to every one of us, like going back to work, going out to a restaurant, going out to dinner with that certain somebody. That's probably really what the conversation is really about, especially with music like Sweet Love by Anita Baker. I was thinking about the things that keep relationships going and having humanitarian and the things that represent me and the people that represent me, like Candace Owens. I love what Candace Owens offers. So much insight and intelligence, and she's articulate and she knows the topic better. I also love Diamond and Silk. So if you're down there in the Charlotte area, you know where we were broadcasting there for a while at the Moonlight Lounge at 103.3 104.3 FM. And we are trying to get back on our feet and get back into the swing of things. So we started Real Talk Live in 2015, also amateur radio network, where we could teach each other how to get better at broadcasting. And there is a training class at wdrbmedia.com, so check it out. There are things that I wanted to talk about that I think only your heart can share it. There are things that cannot be scripted. And when I think about one topic, I'm going to focus in on the best I can on how to describe some of the things that are going on, because it is a Christian gospel station, thank God, and we could talk about the things of the Bible. And I know there's a lot of people that parse words and they think they know the Bible, they think they understand it, but we, again, realize that we live in some very difficult times predicted in the Bible. And I don't know a whole lot of stuff, but I do study, okay? And when we study what people say, okay? So that you know, it wasn't out of the Bible. This did not come from the Bible. These are just opinions from other people. And what I find is when you go on YouTube, there's a lot of people with opinions. And we have a page called The Court of Public Opinion because there are people with opinions, and they're entitled to have their opinions. They can also keep their opinions to themselves too. Got it? But when we're in a segment, we're in a radio segment where you can listen at your own leisure, and we want to broadcast to that targeted audience, that young women and young men who have families and are thinking about what is their career path. Like, I'm talking about young. When I say young, you're still in your 40s and you still have young children, or you still have ambition. You haven't lost your ability to go out and get a job. You're not succumbing to unemployment and welfare. You want better for yourself. You want a job that creates opportunity. And I'm not saying anything about unemployment and welfare. I'm just saying that you're not resorting to just unemployment and welfare. You're trying to go back to school, or you're trying to better yourself as a person. Because there are people that stay on welfare and live in government housing, and that is what you get, okay? So, and a lot of people are in situations that are out of their control. That doesn't mean that we can't get back in the control seat. And this is where God plays a role in this. Like, God has given us the ability to get up and get a job, then we need to get up and get a job. You know what I mean? But the thing is, this is where it gets different now. Is that now there's been so many government controls and shutdowns that people are in a different situation now. And when we get back here in a moment, we're going to take a quick break. We're going to get back to what we can do. And God, as my witness, knows that we know there's other factors playing in role. So give me 1 minute. We're going to take a quick break, and we'll be back after this. Okay, we're back live here at Real Talk Live, that is. And this is a very short segment, but we want to know what your thoughts are. If you would, email me at moonlightingwgiv@gmail.com. I used to work at the station. I have been off. I'm trying to get back into it, and Real Talk Live is one of the things that we want to promote for our returning back to radio. And we work out of the Charlotte radio station at WGIV in Charlotte. And getting back to talk show, or getting back into the swing of this, is because my nephew had been paralyzed in a car accident, and I have been gone since. We have struggled with a lot of things, like being able to work and just live life, and also other things that have happened. But I want, as I break this segment up here in a few minutes, I want to know, what are the goals and plans that you have if you are planning to go back to work, or planning a future ahead of you, and what would you like me to talk about in the next segment? You've been listening to Real Talk Live at 103.3 FM, Charlotte, North Carolina, WGIV, the soul of Charlotte.